Hello there, it's time for a new progress video for the New Year goals of 2023. 113 days of progress. Another 2 weeks have passed, and some of the main highlights before going into detail are 3 weeks of my new job, multiple pull-up records, I hosted an amazing techno event, I made some personal development and it is paying dividends. Athletic Greens is making a difference in my life, and I danced like nobody's watching. My goals consist of workouts, starting my business, reading books, focus on personal development, search my own place to live, and lastly, simply love. Love for all human beings while bringing out the best in myself. I struggle here and there, and that's just part of an attempt to make life amazing. So let's go right into the details. Let's start off by focusing on my pull-ups. In the past 14 days I did 1235 pull-ups, of which 20% roughly were done in a 10 kilo vest. I broke several records these past 2 weeks. Like for example, Monday, the day after my last progress video, I did 160 pull-ups in a day. My previous record was at 150 pull-ups in a day, and I decided, hey, I can set a new record this day. And then on the following Friday, I did an unofficial pull-up record of 19 plus 1 pull-ups. My previous record was at 19 and I equaled my old record. And I did another one while hanging on the bar, but I used my legs for support, just getting a little bit of more energy in my arms again. I did a 20 pull-up then with a little cheating using my legs. But I counted it as 19 plus 1, not as 20. The following Friday, however, I did actually do 20 strict pull-ups, setting a new record for myself. And the day after that, I did 200 pull-ups in a day, beating my previous record of 160. Beating it by like 25%, it's ridiculous. And I believe it's the result of compounding my development physically and mentally, and using my best habits to bring out the best in myself. I got some tips from my brother as well to improve my effectiveness in pull-ups, and it seems to work, and I'm very grateful for his tips. The push-ups are going well in proportion. They are less of a priority than my pull-ups, as they can be done virtually anywhere. It's mainly a goal to make my workouts not only revolve around my pull-ups. In the past 2 weeks I did a little over 2000 push-ups, of which 480 were done in a 10 kilo vest. Maybe I did more pull-ups and push-ups, but I forgot to accurately track the amount of sets I did like a day or two. When I'm not certain whether I did a set or not, I won't count it. There's no room for cheating. I want to be honest with myself and have integrity, and this is one small thing where life just tests you. I'm very proud of my progress regarding my integrity, even if it's the small things. Running is going well. I'm a little bit below average the past 2 weeks, but I have more energy and I'm willing to reserve more time to go running. And a good audiobook and a lovely sunset help immensely in running. I want to run a marathon wearing a 10 kilo vest later this year. So over the coming months, I will probably focus more on running longer distances to train for that. Or maybe I'll just run it out of the blue someday. I don't know yet. As for the next 2 weeks, I will probably be running a half marathon wearing a 10 kilo vest. We'll have to wait and see if that happens. And rather than doing one workout per week in a 10 kilo vest, in the past 2 weeks I just felt like doing 2 per week. It just happened. I'm in a great mood with my new job, and because of my increased energy levels, drinking Athletic Greens AG1, I pay more attention to my sleep effectiveness and habits, and yeah, I just feel like doing a little bit extra in my workouts. And regarding Athletic Greens, I was a skeptic at first, but I'm really glad I tried it, because I definitely noticed improvements in my energy levels and my mental capacity. I spent some hours with my own business experience. First of all, there were these videos I made, not a lot, mainly a few shorts, and make the videos in the weekends because, yeah, with my new job I have a little less time, especially during the day and in the evening, to make room for a video. I'll pay attention to make some time for making videos during the week. Also, I hosted a Techno event, which took several hours, but it was very great. I will go into detail later. Reading is going okay. I wish I took more time to read physical books. For now, my main focus is getting used to my work schedule and catching up on several activities in the evening while aiming for a good night's sleep. So there's very little room to read physical books. But on my way to work, where I can just listen to audiobooks or stuff on YouTube, I don't mind being in traffic at all. I listen to an audiobook all by myself in traffic, and it's time is spent effectively rather than just listening to music or wasting it being angry that I'm gonna be late for work or something, which I'm not. Yeah, audiobooks are greatly helping me out in getting more material in my brain. An Audible subscription is like 12 euros per month, in which you get one audiobook per month for free, and it's paying massive dividends. I cannot imagine my life without it anymore. So much time would be wasted where I could be listening to an audiobook instead while I build my personal development. Yeah, and as for reading, I started to read the Bible a couple of weeks ago. Every day, right before I go to sleep, I read a couple of pages and I'll see what I learn from there. As for love, I just want to highlight some events. As you can see, there was this techno event, which I prepared several hours for. I volunteered at this nightclub with like 30 other people, and for several weeks, the number of visitors were exceptionally low. Everyone was getting demotivated, and I decided it was time to try something new. We agreed to host a techno event with some outside vendors, and the collaboration was not as smooth initially, but everyone was motivated to give our best that day. And for the first time in months, our place was just sold out. The event was amazing, and I'm very proud of what we organized that night. And I received several compliments personally for the idea and execution, as well as for my light show that I programmed. I'm very grateful for the people I work with, and the following night we had a private party with all the volunteers and just had a good time together. We shared some stories, we made a mess of our place, and cleaned it up 2 days after. Yeah, it was a mess and it was beautiful. I made some progress in my new job. I'm definitely lacking experience, but I feel greatly motivated, and my colleagues take notice of that. They compliment me for how fast I grow and how motivated I am, and I respect and admire them a lot. I'm really glad I'm part of their team. This is one aspect of where investing in myself has paid off. If you want to know more about it, I'm happy to get you yourself started on a one-on-one level. Just reach out to me via Twitter or YouTube and we will figure it out. Also, this week on the 20th of April, also known as 420, there was, of course, the SpaceX Starship launch. And wow, that just inspired me a lot for the future. Seeing all these engineers being excited about the work and seeing their work project launch from the launch pad, this massive rocket just going into space, it's ridiculous. So many people were happy and just cheering, having a good time, and they made more progress with that launch they could hope for. Eventually it blew up. It was a little bit of disappointment, but like 2 seconds after that, everyone was cheering and they were proud of what they accomplished. And that's a strong signal to me. They were very proud of the progress they made, even if their rocket blew up. They worked so hard on this project and they are just inspired to give more energy, more work to make this thing successful in the long run. That's what you want, right? Like, don't be disappointed that it failed. No, be inspired by your failure so that you can do better next time. Okay, and last Friday, my cousin got married. We had a great party at the evening with friends, family. Just a good time with everyone. I'm very happy for him. And yesterday, this is a long one, there was this party in town in a big tent, and there were like 4 artists singing or DJing that night. And one of those artists is a good friend of mine, actually. He's this amazingly enthusiastic guy with a passion for DJing and giving people a good time. And in my opinion, he's very talented. I just stood in a crowd with some of my friends from the place I volunteer at, and I observed something that just cracks me up inside. My friend, this DJ, was performing, and we were interacting together one on one. Well, there were probably 1,000 people there. And even if I don't drink any alcohol, I seemed like the craziest person over there, just having a good time. We just had a good time together, and everyone was just basically at the start of the event holding their drinks in front of their chest, being awkward, waiting for some external event to make it more fun. And we were just acting like crazy, having a good time together. I just went all in right from the start, danced like nobody was watching, and wow. Apart from my friend, who was also performing and dancing, I felt so free. I had a great time that night, and when my friend got to the climax of his show, there was this one song where everyone in the room is supposed to go from the left to the right as one big crowd. And after that song, everyone seemed to got the hang of it a little bit more. And in the first 45 minutes, they were just drinking, being awkward, and after that, everyone was more loose. Choosing not to drink alcohol coincidentally made me more able to enjoy every party I attend. I realized that I could decide what I think is fun. I set the tone for myself, and if I don't enjoy the party, I can take action, or I can decide to leave. I don't wait for other people to make it fun for me, even if that could be fun as well. That's one big thing I'm proud of. I observed several people taking notice of that as well. They came to me during and after my friend's performance, simply stating that I seemed to have a good time. And I could tell they secretly wished they were able to do that as well. But it's not that hard. You just have to make the choice to enjoy the moment as it is there, the way you are, and accept that it's up to you to decide whether something is fun or not. Okay, I can talk about this for hours, but I want to wrap up this progress video. As for the year so far, 113 days have passed, and the number of days that I did 100 pull-ups or more, whether this is a coincidence or not, count 42. Of all numbers, I just had to share that. As for the next 2 weeks, I expect many amazing things will happen. I will most likely break 10,000 pull-ups in the year so far, and I will probably be running half a marathon in a 10 kilo vest. I might be playing volleyball again with friends outdoors. The weather is getting nicer, and overall I just see the trees becoming green again, with amazing sunsets to finish the day. And those simple things bring me joy, no matter what. And I look forward to the next weeks. I will prepare them in later detail tonight in my journal. I hope you enjoyed my progress, and more so, I hope you are inspired by it. I always want to emphasize that it's up to you to choose the life you want by being proactive. And that's why I make these videos. Until next time, I love you, dear stranger.